Okay, greetings folks. Coffee is done, so we're on to the next question. Now, some people have been having difficulty with visualization exercise and looking for methods to get breakthroughs on the step 2 and 3 visual work. Now, what I suggest you do for visualization is start with archetypes and basic colors. So what I did is I bought an RGB light, and you can use your phone just to switch your lights off, pick a color with an RGB app and generate a different color, and then close your eyes, hold the color in your mind's eye. When you lose it, open your eyes and it's there on your phone. I used to do this with filters and using just a lamp and candles, but the candles weren't quite bright enough, so I had to go electric. But these days it's pretty easy. RGB studio light, or just use your phone. Now, when you are doing your visualization exercises, I would vital breathe through the eyes first, and when you get the vital energy moving in and out through the eyes, it moves to a peripheral state, and while you're in that peripheral state, you put your RGB light on or your app to produce the color you want to visualize, and then once you've visualized the color, the vital energy enlivens and stabilizes the visualization. So you're essentially building vitality inside of a color in your mind, and you can build it in the space around you, and then start working with shapes. Start with spheres, then go to triangles, three-dimensional if you're comfortable with that, and then from triangle to square and so forth, working with different shapes. The more 3D you can make them, you can hold a ball of energy between your hands and change the shape of the ball and change the color of the ball. And this will help with the visualization exercises, and it will make it very relevant to clairvoyance, because you'll find just simply by vital breathing through the eyes, you'll start to see the vitality of the energy around plants and nature and people and so forth. So this gives you a really strong platform to work from for your clairvoyant work. All right, so once you've gone through the color scheme, I would work through the Kabbalistic colors, and then you put shape into it visually. And once you've increased the complexity of the shape, put a painting in front of you or a picture in front of you, and it's two-dimensional, and vital breathe into the two-dimensional physical picture itself, and then a vital breathe into it in your mind's eye when you close your eyes, and hold the picture to enliven it, and then move it into a three-dimensional state in your mind. So it's two-dimensional picture, and then as if you're inside of the picture, the place where it is. So let's say it's a picture of Times Square. You visualize it, and then you put yourself in Times Square. If you've been there, remember when you're there and put your mind in there, and hold the visualization and memory of the experience and walk in that place. So taking things from a two-dimensional to three-dimensional is essential, and then from first, second, third person perspectives as well, super important. First person is you looking out, second person is looking back at yourself, and then third person, we take the concept of being at any part of the space and looking at not only you but the environment that you're in, and seeing more out of the box perspective, like a fly on the wall, to being in all parts of the space at the same time and so forth. So there's a very high level of creativity which you can express when you're doing these exercises. All right, so we've moved from colors, shapes, adding shape and color together, into pictures, and then first, second, third person aspects, two-dimension to three-dimension in pictures, projecting your mind and awareness into places in those pictures. Okay, from there you put a crystal in your hands and you vital breathe into the crystal. Now, when you vital breathe into the crystal and enliven it with life force, then you just simply put your mind inside the crystal. You mentally project into it and have a look around inside the crystal. So visually imagine what it's like inside there. Now you can look through the facets of a crystal, and if it's a little bit transparent and translucent, you can see through. You can see the inclusions, the cracks from the outside, then put your mind inside and look at them. This approach to visually moving from eye consciousness rooted in your body to eye consciousness from spirit to eye consciousness from spirit outside the body, this transition is very, very important. Vital breathing and vital energy, by charging the crystal before you do this, you're essentially building a mental astral matrix for your mind to be able to function more efficiently through your energy system. So using your existing energy system without separating the mental matrix completely, and this makes it easier to do. So when you mentally project into other places that are outside of the life force field of your own body, it requires a higher level of skill. Your spirit senses essentially need to be more highly developed. All right, so as you're going through this process of using color and shape, two-dimensional pictures into three-dimensional pictures, and mentally transferring to crystals which you've charged up, by this point you have found a type of innate creativity on making your own exercises on how to do things. So let's say you're a Tai Chi practitioner, you will close your eyes and visualize yourself doing the form. Then you'll visualize yourself doing the form in front of you in the park that you might be sitting in, or your lounge room, and then you open your eyes and visualize yourself open eye doing the form in front of you in your lounge room. So it goes through these three steps, and you'll personify this based on your interests. If you're into tennis, you're going to do that with tennis. If you're into other sport, you're going to visualize and generate exercises around skill mastery in that sport. Now, if there's one particular skill, like doing a backhand or a forehand, you create a repetitive loop where you visualize yourself doing the skill perfectly over and over, and then in these types of conditions you're going to be adding feeling into the equation. You're going to be adding a sense of gravity acting upon your body into the equation. You're going to be adding the pre-stretch before you swing the racket into the equation, and so forth. You can add all the other senses of the sound of the racket cutting the air and so forth into this exercise. And what you'll find is the higher the level of creativity in creating these exercises, the easier they're going to be, because you created the exercise, so of course you can do the exercise. And you create exercises which you can do. So there's this automatic sense of, oh yeah, I designed it, I make it work, it's for me, and this naturalness aligns and synchronizes the intuitive mind, the innate nature of how to use clairvoyance naturally. What a lot of people make a mistake in is they make it too clinical and too artificial, and it's not individual enough. When things are more individualized, they're more synchronized to your use cases and you. So this creativity starts to kick in, and you use that creativity to develop exercises. If you have any questions about this, let me know. I've got a lot of these exercises already on Vimeo, so have a look through them and develop your skills. Thanks for your time, and see you on the next video.